welcome back to this channel. As I'm sure you all know, the planner community is buzzing right now with everyone's planner picks for the 2025 year, and I thought I'd also contribute by sharing with you all a Taiwanese brand that is gaining popularity. It's called the Take a Note Planner, and today I'm going to share with you why I decided to go for this planner for 2025, and we'll unbox it together and I'll share my first impressions with you. If you're looking for a new planner yourself and thinking of new options, maybe this video can help you to know what this planner is like. I think I saw pictures of this planner while on Instagram from time to time, and when I saw that the Coffee Monster had brought this for herself last year, that was when I went into their website and had a look at it. It did seem to have a nice layout, so I thought it looked very suitable for me. But at that time, I was still deep in my traveler's notebook phase. Well, I sort of still am, but I thought, oh, this is nice. Maybe while I'm still living in Taiwan, I could try it one day, but for now, it's not for me. But afterwards, I just kept seeing these planners everywhere on the internet and even in stationery stores here in Taiwan. And when I saw them for myself, I could actually see how much the layout would suit me. And although I do still love my traveler's notebook, I did find that there were some aspects that I had fallen out of love with. And so I was on the market for a new planner where I could sort of have a good balance between functionality and also aesthetics, where I could decorate and I guess be more creative with. Yeah, so I was tossing up between a Hobonichi or this Take a Note planner, and of course everybody knows the Hobonichi, but I did not realize how difficult it is to actually get your hands on an Hobonichi. Well, at least for me here, that's what I found to be the case. And if I was to buy one directly from their website, the shipping costs were so expensive, especially when all I wanted was just to buy one planner to test it out, because I've never used an Hobonichi before. So I just thought it was very impractical, and so naturally I chose the Take a Note planner. And since I lived in the country where it's produced, in Taiwan, the shipping was cheap and quick, and they also had a pre-order sale going on, so I decided to get my hands on this one. And yeah, so very long introduction, but basically it's here, and I love to share this with you guys. So first up, I can see that they're bundled together like this. Let's see what this is. Okay, that's just my invoice. Wow. Okay, put that aside. So I got the pre-order package, which is basically a planner cover and a planner of your choice, and they also give a wooden sticker to celebrate their 10th anniversary. So it's an actual sticker, which is really interesting. Oh wow, the texture is really nice. I can't believe this is actually wood, and it's like flexible. That's a really nice touch. So just put that to the side for now. Okay, for the main deal, the Take a Note, I got the medium size. I think it's there we are. It's a B6 2025 medium weeks planner, B6. With the B6 cover, they give you a planner cover, which is, what What color do they describe it as? Ah, light beige. I think they had some different options. They had like a pastel yellow and like a pastel blue color, but to be honest, I chose this size because I liked the color of the light beige. Obviously, I thought the B6 would be a nice size in general, but I did like the color of this more because I thought it would be nice for an all year kind of color. Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, but put that aside for now and I'll open up the planner itself. Oh wow. A card which says the most important kind of freedom is to be what you really are. I take a note. That's also another nice touch. Share with 10 planner. I am definitely going to share this on my Instagram, so that's really nice. Oh, wow, it's been 10 years for them. That's awesome. That's an awesome milestone. And here is the planner. I think last year they had like a bluish gray tinged kind of cover, and this year they went for a tan color, which is really nice. Not sure if you can see here. They have a welcome page, a yearly calendar, a yearly plan, yearly project, monthly plan, weekly plan, note page, and personal information. So a lot of different types of pages in here. Let me try to open this up. So here it is. Let me open it up. It's made from a cardstock cover, so I definitely thought, I reckon having an extra cover is definitely needed. You would need to buy a cover of some sort, or maybe like maybe a different brand. Plastic PVC cover would also work as well, but I thought I might as well get the cover while it's on the pre-order sale. So there is that. Very beautiful cover. A yearly overview. I'm trying to think of how I would use this. Maybe like a habit tracker of some sort. That's very interesting. Some kind of notes or events or planners. I would think maybe people in Hobonichi would be familiar with this kind of layout too, where, for example, if they have some important information that they're written on a certain day, they would sort of log it in one of the corresponding date, and then so that later on in the future, if they want to revisit and find that information, they had it written already here, and then they can quickly find that page as well. That's one way. Or as well, habit tracker could be a good way too. I think this would be very, very handy to have. And immediately I can actually feel how nice this page is. It's a shame that I've never used a Hobonichi before, because otherwise I've got nothing to compare it to, but it is a really, really nice thin page. Very, very smooth to touch. I'll have to try it with my fountain pens, because ever since I changed my layout for this year for my traveler's notebook, I'd switched out my fountain pens for a regular MUJI ink pen, but I really miss my fountain pen so much. So I think I'm going to try and go back to my fountain pen for this planner, and so I'll have to do a pen test sooner or later. And looks like I can use this planner from December, which is really nice. Let me do a close-up. They have a really unique grid. It's like a 4 square, and then they've a lighter line in between. So that's really beautiful. And similar to the Hobonichi, you can see that each month they have this tab, so you can locate it very quickly with a slightly different shade. Oh, there I think they're alternating colors. So they've got the brown, and then they've got the gray, and then brown again. I think people who love minimalistic style will love this format much more than the colorful Hobonichi tabs. So that's really nice. They've got the date on the side. They've got plenty of space on the borders, which I really love. It's so minimal, yet the layout is just so practical as well. And I'm really looking forward to using this. I'm thinking maybe I would write down events in the blocks, and then on the side maybe I'll write down some books that I've been reading, or I'm just thinking off the top of my head, or some habit trackers or some goals. That would be also very helpful. I think I'll do goals on this side and probably habit tracker on the bottom. They have some kind of like code. Does this mean anything to anyone? PO 48 50 52 54 56. Is that page number? Is it? Ah, it's a corresponding page number. So February, the first week starting. Oh, wow. Okay, did you guys see that? So they have this page number recorded, so that if you go to, for example, the first week of January, page 40, and open up to page 40, it will have that week, that corresponding week, so you can find it right away. That is so neat. That is so smart. And it's not like this is an eyesore or anything. It's so light. It's just something for reference. And even if you write over it, I don't think it would be a big issue if you wanted to use that space. That's really beautiful. So we've got the monthly pages. All the way to so from December until March of 2026. So that's quite a lot of months. I can't wait to get in and start using this. And then this is a weekly spread. And then it also has the corresponding week highlighted out of the whole month. So if you wanted to, you could also do like a overview of the whole month. I think over here, what I liked about the medium size is that they didn't have any specific hours written down, so it's more flexible. So I think I've seen some people, they do like meal planning, so the breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then they write to-do list on the bottom. Or some people, they have written, like for example, they also do morning, afternoon, evening, and then they write events in each corresponding section, so it helps them to break it up, but it's not like hourly or anything like that. So it's like a big overview, and then also like a journal entry or a to-do list on the bottom as well. Or they could sort of use it across the whole week and perhaps do a weekly spread or some pages or pictures to document their week. I think that's really neat. So I think I would probably write maybe the weather at the top, and then I would also break it up into morning, afternoon, evening, and I would just write down big events during this section here. And then I think I would just have a running to-do list on the bottom as well. I think that would be really nice. So all those weeks, And then the last week is just ending right on the December. Okay, and then they have these free note pages. I'll show you how many there are up to the end, and that is quite a generous amount, I think. That is actually quite generous. So I think because I am learning Chinese and language learning is a big part of my life, I wanted to integrate both my general work, my social events, my language learning all into one. So I really appreciate having this much work, note pages at the back that I can use. And I think it's very interesting how they have a different grid. Oh, look. And they have like a space where you can put as a header, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. And not including the header. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rows. But then they also have like a mini, like a header, and then like also a tiny section on the bottom. And then they have these really handy dots to mark off where the middle are. So I think it'll be really easy to draw graphs, tables, to write notes. It's very handy. I would love to use this, like I said, for my Chinese language learning. I probably would have like vocabulary lists here, journal pages. If I wanted to do a journal page, I think I would split it up so that there's like 8 boxes and then one each for each day, and I'll write a journal entry in Chinese or something, and then the last one I would use as like a vocabulary list or something like that. Or I'm thinking maybe I could plan my travels. I travel a lot because I have family in different countries and I'm currently living abroad in Taiwan. So I travel a lot, so then I would use this as a travel itinerary spread too, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 days per spread, or I don't know. I think there's so much potential for how I'd use this. It's not just like a regular grid. I feel like this has a lot more potential. I don't know if you think this would be more helpful to you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. It's just like a page, and I'm ranting so much about this. Okay, and then to continue, the back page where you can write your name and then your contact details as well. And now let's open up the cover. So it says here, designed for durability and a sophisticated touch, protect against daily wear and add a luxurious finish compatible with Take a Note planner. So it's PU leather, and let me open this up. Wow, it's this texture. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a rubbery texture. It smells funky. I'm gonna have to air this out. Definitely, I think it would be very strong and durable against scratches. So it's very scratch proof. And the inside here, this feels more like leather, but this has got a more like a satiny, rubbery kind of texture. It's got the logo on the bottom here, and then it's got like a simple card holder as well. Let's see if this fits. I might just like keep that in there. That's nice. Okay, let's try to see if I can put this in. Oh, and also I wanted to mention, look how beautiful the book binding is. And I don't think I've done this. It just lays flat too. I just cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Working with Traveler's Notebook that doesn't lay flat, this is gonna be really easy to use. Wow, okay. Right. Yay! I gotta say, it does leave extra room. So if you do include a lot of ephemera in your planners, I do believe that this does give you that extra room. I wouldn't say that it's very snug. There is quite a lot of space. To be honest, I do wish it would be a little bit more snug, just to give it that sense of security. But I do believe future me would appreciate this room, because I would probably stick a lot of stickers in here, ephemera in here as well. Look how nice it is. And then, oh, okay. So if I was to close it, try to open it, sort of have to like so it definitely isn't snug. Maybe that's why. Because this part here, when you're opening it up, you have to move it around for it to... Did you see that? You gotta push it down. Maybe it's for that flexibility when writing on it. That's why they did that. Anyways, but aesthetics definitely spot on. The detail in this and the care into the product definitely is beautiful. I would also like to mention, although I have not used Hobonichi personally, I don't know what it is to like have a quote on each page. Thinking about it, I think I would appreciate having that extra space instead of having a quote. Sorry to keep comparing between Hobonichi, but I think if you do prefer a more minimalistic aesthetic and having more space, I do recommend the Take a Note. And that was one of the things why I decided to go for this planner as well. It just has so much more space that you can write in. And personally, my writing isn't too big, so I think having these small grids would also be perfect as well. So I am back to do some pen testing, and I brought some pens with me on the side here. I don't own a lot of pens, but hopefully this could help you get to know and to get a feel of what the paper is like. So I thought you'd be curious about fountain pens. I've got some markers. I've got a calligraphy pen, some brush pens, good old mechanical pencil, the friction pilot pen, and a regular pilot ballpoint pen, and then also a MUJI pen. I'll start first with this pen here. It's a LAMY calligraphy tip pen, and I have filled it with the iroshizuku tsuki-yo. So it's like a dark blue, almost black ink, very, very beautiful. And I found that this pen, it does smudge quite a bit when I used it with the Traveler's Notebook inserts, which was one of the reasons why I had switched it out for this year, because I wanted something that I could just write and then close it straight away without even worrying about smudging. So I'm curious to know how it will behave on this paper. Next up is the LAMY pen in the medium nib, and I've also got an iroshizuku Pilot ink, but it's the syo-ro version. And next up, I'm going to use the MUJI Gel Ink Ballpoint pen. This will be the 0.38. Next up are these two MUJI water-based felt pens, one in lilac and one in ash gray. I chose these colors because I love using these two colors, so I'll give it a go as well. I have now the Pilot Friction Ball pen with the erasable tip. I'll try to erase it as well to see how it behaves too. I now have the Zebra brush pen. And I have this one, Pilot calligraphy pen. I think this is a medium size here. It is huge. Actually, it's been so long since I've used this. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it beautiful. Oh god, this is terrible. Gotta practice my Z's. No, it's not zebra. It's Pilot. Okay, cross that out. Okay, yeah. I don't know if anyone will actually use these kinds of pens on this planner, but here goes. Okay, and next up is another Pilot pen. This is a BPSGPEF in extra fine. I'm going to have to look at this lid to make sure I don't write it correctly. Wow, that was so nice. Fun to write with. And then the regular MUJI mechanical pencil in 0.5. Okay, so just from what I can see here, when I was using the Traveler's Notebook inserts, the fountain pens were working really beautifully, but they did smudge. And look at that, it does smudge too, even though it's been quite a while since I've written this. So the parts where the pen had stayed, it lingered a little bit longer, it will have some bits of ink, I think. So you just got to be careful of that. I do recommend maybe getting a blotting paper just to help alleviate that problem. Yeah, you can see there will definitely be some smudging. Maybe I'll have to get a different ink. If anyone can recommend any ink that doesn't smudge, I'll be really grateful. But just the fountain pen in itself. Okay, so you can see the smudging that's going on ever so slightly here. And then if you go to the back to see the ghosting, I would say the fountain pen is definitely one of the worst, especially since where you can see where the ink is lingered and then it seeped through to the other end, to the other side of the paper. So if this bothers you, I do recommend maybe getting like a fountain pen where the ink flow has more control. So that's something that you can keep in mind. Ink ballpoint for the MUJI. Let's look at the MUJIs here. The gel ink ballpoint here. You can see it has slight ghosting, but I think it's normal considering how thin this paper is. So this to me is not a problem. And the markers, they did beautifully. You can barely even see them. Obviously they are there though. And then we've got the Pilot Friction Ball. And you see that I have erased a portion here. It does leave a slight ghosting of where I had erased it as well, so that's something you can keep in mind. But it's very, very faint. And if you see in the back, not a lot of ghosting either. And then obviously the brush pens that you'll see next, it will have some ghosting. The Pilot Calligraphy and then the Zebra brush pen, this is how it will behave, but that is to be expected. And honestly, that's actually not too bad, considering that they're brush pens. And then I have the Pilot ballpoint pen in the extra fine. This was so smooth, so fun to write with. And you'll see that there's barely any ghosting here too. And then last but not least is just a mechanical pencil, and yeah, it's just a pencil. Not much ghosting. So I'm gonna have to sit down and think on whether I want to use a fountain pen on this pen or not. I did buy this planner expecting to use a fountain pen, so the fact that it smudges is a little bit of a disappointment, but maybe it's the ink that I'm using, or maybe it's the pen that I'm using, I don't know. I only have the LAMY and I only have the iroshizuku inks, so I'll have to buy some more for the sake of experimenting. That's an excuse, and just to see how they behave as well. That's the pen test here, and I hope this gives you some idea on how this paper is like. In the meantime, I think I'm going to do some thinking. I'm going to sit with this. I'm going to stare at the pages and think about how I'm going to use this for the new year. And I'm really excited as to experiment with December. Right now it's only October, so I really hope December will come around quickly so I can get started. But anyway, here it is, the Take a Note planner. It's a Taiwanese brand. I highly recommend you guys have a look and see if the layout is something that you might consider using for 2025. And maybe in a future video, after I've decided on some ideas on how I will use this, I will share that with you. But that's it for my unboxing. Thank you guys so much for checking in and seeing my unboxing of this planner, and I'll leave it there. Bye bye.